AEW's MVP completely destroyed Triple H in an interview question. Also, MJF completely cooked WWE in a small sentence last night as well on a fantastic 3-hour holiday bash. I'll cover all of that, so stay tuned here on Screw the Script. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me, and let's just get right into it. Before I cover the incredible 3-hour show that we had last night in Holiday Bash, AEW's Holiday Bash, I want to get over some juicy content that I just saw that I want to talk to you right away in this special Thursday drop. MVP was asked about the differences between Tony Khan and Triple H. Take a look. MVP says Tony Khan is just a better person all around than Triple H. And not only that, he just goes on to just fucking obliterate Triple H in this interview. He was asked on Q101 Chicago, so it must have been like a morning radio show, or at some point he was on a Chicago radio show. Now, before I go any further and say what he said, this isn't just E-stands are going to say, oh, like WWE lives rent-free in their minds. No, he was asked this question. It's not like he just outright said that Tony Khan is better than Triple H. He was asked. So I go on to read, I'm grateful to Tony Khan for giving the Hurt Syndicate an opportunity to come across the street and finish our run, finish our story, because I don't think there's anybody that would disagree that Hurt Business was disbanded way too soon. And we were never given an actual explanation for why. Tony has his vision that he wants, but he works with the talent and allows a lot more input from the talent into what creative path is going to happen. Whereas the Nose... He fucking called him the Nose. The Nose, Triple H, he's a little bit more of a dictator, essentially, is what he says. Emphasis on dick. He doubled down. This is what we're doing. This is how it's going to be. And this is what I want. With Tony, he might say, this is what I want. And you can say, okay, Tony, but what if we put this on it? And Tony invites that input. Whereas with that guy, Triple H, there's only a handful of people I'd say are allowed to have that kind of input. You can debate whether that's good or bad. I'm just going to be blunt. I think Tony Khan is just a better human being, a better person all around than this guy, Triple H. So he's definitely a better person to work for and a much better working environment. What a fucking roast that MVP just put Triple H through a clinic right there saying what he said. But it's true. I mean, he's not the first person to say it. He will not be the last person to say it. I mean, just last night on a 3-hour special, Isla Dawn, I can never get it right. She was featured yet again in a great match against Jamie Hayter. Granted, she didn't win, but that's okay. She's getting TV time. She's getting reps in. Eventually, we'll see her get pushed more in AEW's stacked women's division. Another thing that I want to touch base on before I cover the great show that we witnessed last night, Sports Illustrated dropped their awards for 2025, and man, did AEW cook. There was, I think, 14 total, and I believe AEW walked away with 10 of them. They won Storyline of the Year, Rivalry of the Year, Best on the Mic, Best in the Ring, Breakout Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Show of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year, Male Wrestler of the Year, Promotion of the Year. That is a big list. The only ones they didn't win were Heel Turn of the Year went to Naomi, Comeback Performer of the Year went to Dragunov, which, okay. Match of the Year was Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair at Mania 41. That was, granted, a good match. I can think of at least 20 AEW matches that happened in 2025 that was better than that. Honestly, a lot of people forget that Toni Storm and Mariah May happened right at the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And that was better than that WrestleMania match, but I digress. And then the only other one that they did not win was a 2025 Legacy Award, which always goes to somebody that is basically retiring, and that went to John Cena. I mean, kind of hard not to give it to John Cena there, despite how lackluster and underwhelming his retirement run was, and you know my thoughts on that. Here's the full list for you guys to look at for what they did win, and let's go Promotion of the Year. They won Promotion of the Year. It's making a lot of people angry, and boy, do I have some shit to show you in a second on a certain someone that I know you guys know who this person is that I'll get to in a moment that is fucking salty about it. Female Wrestler of the Year, Mercedes Moné. I mean, how can you not pick her? She's got fucking more belts than I can count on my hands. Male Wrestler of the Year, Hangman Adam Page. I mean, nothing beats the arc of him eventually taking down Moxley at All In. Nothing beats that this year. Tag Team of the Year, FTR. I mean, FTR is arguably the best tag team in pro wrestling. I actually have their shirt on right now that I got at a live event a couple of years back. Best in the ring, Will Ospreay. Despite him being injured the last couple of months, he still won Best in the Ring, because how can you not say Will Ospreay was Best in the Ring this year? He put on so many fucking bangers. Best on the Mic. You know, Tony Storm won it. You could even give it a second place to MJF after what he just... he had an insane promo when he came back, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Breakout Wrestler of the Year, Kyle Fletcher. I love this one. This may actually be my favorite one, because you guys all know how much I love Kyle Fletcher, how much I've been praising him on my channel, so it's great to see him win that. Storyline of the Year, Hangman Adam Page's redemption arc. Again, just a masterclass of a storyline done by Tony Khan and AEW. Rivalry of the Year is Hangman Adam Page versus Moxley. Again, tying into that whole entire arc, and Hangman winning that title at All In was absolutely beautiful. And then finally, Show of the Year was Double or Nothing 2025. Yet another AEW award, another AEW win. I don't know personally if that was my favorite AEW show of 2025. It's certainly top 3. I mean, I still think All In was the best show of the year. The best show AEW has put on in a few years, in my opinion, just because of how great that ending was. Regardless, that is a laundry list of awards. AEW almost swept the entire awards from Sports Illustrated, 10 of 14. And now, going on to somebody that is so damn salty that it made me laugh really fucking hard. Literally the guy who hates AEW probably more than Jim Cornette. That clown, JD New York. I had to screenshot a couple of things from his post because I was literally laughing for minutes. And I'm not joking. I was at work on my break when I saw this, and I was like, I have to include this in my video later. It is unbelievable. And the funnier thing isn't his post, it's the people calling him out in the post. Here it is right up there. He goes on to say, Sports Illustrated Pro Wrestling Year-End Award for 2025, bought and paid for by Tony Khan. Seriously? So blatantly a counter by AEW using that platform to peddle their bullshit against WWE and ESPN. Good God. How anyone believes the slop they put together for that article is beyond me. It reads like a press release cosplaying as journalism. There's no analysis, no balance, just agenda dressed up as credibility. Are you out of your damn mind, dude? What the hell? You think you have credibility after the bullshit that happened with you over the last 2 years? Absolutely not. The top thing right there at the bottom. This guy goes on to say, what exactly has WWE done this year to warrant more than what it got? I had to like that. Another person who actually broke this news, John Alba, if you're not familiar who he is. 7 voters, everyone covers everything, point system for voting, all write-ins and not given options. It was about as fair of a process as possible. So was it bought by Tico last year when WWE nearly swept the awards? Conspiracy theories are cool until they're not, man. He cooked JD. JD, you're a clown. This person just posted Mariah May's face after. Whoa, man. That was, what a troll post right there. Mariah May, if you didn't know or was aware, if you were not aware, lost a botched title match on NXT 2 days ago. It was very obvious that it was a botch because both women were confused as fuck, and WWE is just fucking running around like headless chickens right now, trying to figure out what in the hell to do about that. Same goes with John Cena's retirement tour and the heat that creative is getting. It's a fucking mess in WWE to close out 2025, and JD from New York is a fucking delusional douchebag for posting something like this, but I love that people are going after him. The next person says, AEW definitely had a stronger year when it came to creative and better pay-per-views, especially match quality. Objectively, 2024 was WWE's year. Sports Illustrated had WWE winning 90% of their awards. And in 2025, it's AEW who won most of the categories. Sports Illustrated got it right 2 years in a row, in my opinion. And yeah, 2024 was a down year for AEW. I said that early on in my channel when I created it, that the second half of 2023 and most of 2024, AEW is just in this weird flux, and they had issues with all kinds of things. But towards the end of 2024 and headed into this year, they have been on fire. So John Alba, going back to that comment, he had to clarify some more because JD from New York is an asshat and just can't accept the fact that AEW through and through is better than WWE in 2025. He goes on to say this was all panel, write-in voting. For the record, I agree with some and don't agree with others. Last year's were super WWE heavy. This year's were AEW heavy. It's all fair. And the comment below got to me. It's funny when people who only watch WWE get angry at other promotions winning awards. Like, how the fuck do you know what's best, dude? You didn't even watch any of it. Not saying that JD doesn't watch all of it, but he certainly has his favoritism after the bullshit that happened with Mercedes and being called out online by Dax from FTR. I'm obviously Team AEW, Team Dax, Team FTR on this. JD from New York has lost all credibility for me. Now for the remainder of the video, I'm going to recap that amazing show that we saw last night. Right up here, look at that. Beautiful photo of a packed show. They had over 10,000, I think close to 15,000 if I'm not mistaken, tickets sold for this. Beautiful. It was great. The crowd was hot the entire night. I had a fucking blast, and I hope you did too. Where do I begin? The contract signing, MJF returned. Out of the blue, everyone was probably expecting him to return during the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, and he didn't. He returned, cashed in his opportunity for a title shot, called out Hangman, saying that he can't call him a punk and afraid when he's literally putting himself in the mix with 3 other guys instead of just one. Point to MJF there, that's true. He completely demolished Samoa Joe, calling him Sloppy Joe and this and that. He also got to Swerve, calling him P. Diddy, all kinds of ridiculous content in his first promo back. MJF is literally the king of promos. There is nobody on the face of this God-given earth that is better at cutting promos than MJF right now. It is just a fucking fact. But now we got a 4-way title match for World's End. It is going to be an insanely good match. We also had that Diamond Battle Royal, just to get into it now. We saw Ricochet and we saw Bandito as the last two. Champion versus champion. I believe next week is when they're going to square off, if I'm not mistaken. That should be really good too. My guess is Ricochet is going to win it because he's getting pushed heavy at the end of 2025 here. He's going to have both that ring on his hand and that national championship. We also saw an 8-woman tag match. I got this right. I had the heel team winning, and they did. It was a blast, a ton of fun. I love the spotlight that these ladies are getting in 2025. I love that there's women's tag titles. Kind of tying into that, Isla Dawn, and Jamie Hayter wasn't initially on the card. It was added in for the show, which was a nice surprise. They hit each other hard in this match. Jamie Hayter does come out on top, but it was a fun match. So kudos to all the women that were involved in last night's show. They all did a wonderful job. The Elite and Don Callis family, they brought it back. Their Elite music, I loved it. It was nostalgic. The match was a fucking blast from start to finish. Kenny Omega and the Bucks just work so damn well together, and there's a reason for that, because the Elite is elite. They pick up the win. They win the money back. They got jumped at the end. Kind of interesting. Kenny goes out and grabs a broom and kind of nods back to his cleaner days in New Japan. Kenny the Cleaner, that was funny. Jon Moxley and Roderick Strong almost go the distance. Moxley does pick up the win. He actually cut a promo later on in the night that was probably his most face promo he's done in a while. So you know that face turn is coming soon for Moxley. Dorada and Orange Cassidy, I also got this right. Orange Cassidy did pick up the win. Nothing to talk about really with that match. It was just another good, solid Continental Classic match. My top 2 matches of the night I'm saving for last. We had Pac and Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher, who just won Breakout Wrestler of the Year award for Sports Illustrated, had another banger. Every single match that he's had in the Continental Classic has been probably the top matches. Another one last night against Pac. Pac ended up being victorious, I believe, kind of near where he grew up, his hometown, if I'm not mistaken. So he was a crowd favorite. The crowd loved it. He hit his black arrow for the first time in I don't know how fucking long, because I swear every time he goes to hit it, it's always reversed or the wrestler just rolls out of the way. So it's nice to see him actually hit it. He picks up the win against Kyle Fletcher. Incredible match. That main event, though, FTR and the Bang Bang Gang, this is where I praise Tony Khan and AEW's creative in 2025. Both Jay White and unfortunately Colton Gunn, not even like a couple months after the Guns came back, got injured. And both of them have been shelved for a while, yet Tony Khan and AEW are still keeping me very interested in the Bang Bang Gang. They almost won last night against FTR, and just a thrilling and exhilarating tag team match. They were this close to winning. Likely, I think they will be tag champs at some point in 2025, probably when Colton and Jay White come back. When the 4 of them are back together, I think that will be the right time to give them the titles. The men's tag division needs it to have them come back. They also need the Acclaim to come back. We saw it almost happen. Going back real quick to that Diamond Battle Royal, they were just about to scissor, and then they got jumped. You know that's going to happen too. I've been calling all of these things for months, some of them, or weeks at least, on my channel, and I cannot wait to see all of that. That's all I had on this episode of Screw the Script. You let me know down below your thoughts on that great 3-hour show last night. AEW just does 3-hour shows much better than WWE. SmackDown takes some fucking notes, because that is how you go about doing a 3-hour banger of a show. Let me know your thoughts on MVP's comments towards Triple H and whatever else you want to talk about down in the comments section. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.